Hello everybody, Chef Kenny here, and we are getting ready to start our Adventure Eats at Home today. And today we're going to be making blueberry pancakes. So it's going to be really good. So go ahead and get all of your ingredients out. If you've looked on the Facebook page, you'll see the different ingredients that you're going to need. You're going to need flour, baking powder, kosher salt, light brown sugar, blueberries, vanilla extract, milk, eggs, and butter. All right? So go ahead, I'll give you a couple seconds, couple minutes to kind of get those ingredients out, and I will be ready in just a second. All right? So again, you're going to need flour, baking powder, not baking soda, baking powder, kosher salt, blueberries, light brown sugar, eggs, vanilla extract, milk, and butter. All right? So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm already kind of set up here. And so what you want to do first is you want to get 2 bowls. I have this big bowl for my dry ingredients and that bowl right there for my wet ingredients, okay? All right. Make sure you guys can see me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start putting together my dry ingredients. I like to do my dry ingredients first, just because it's a little bit easier, all right? So first, I have about 2 cups or a cup and a half of flour. I'm going to go ahead and pour that into my large bowl, just like that. I'll take a whisk to kind of get all of that out of there. All right, and I'll just kind of give that a stir. Just like that. Next, I'm gonna get my baking powder. All right, and this is about 2 tablespoons of baking powder. And we'll pour that in, along with our flour, all right? As I pour that in, I'll just kind of give it a stir to make sure it gets all around. And you want to use a whisk like this to kind of get everything stirred up, okay? Good. Now I'm going to add some kosher salt, all right? I add kosher salt because it has a deep flavor, and I just happen to like it, all right? So I'll put a little bit of kosher salt in there. Not much. You don't need much of it. Alright. So we've stirred in our kosher salt, we've stirred in our flour, and we've stirred in our baking powder. And the last thing we want to do for our dry ingredients is our light brown sugar. And I have about 2 to 3 tablespoons of light brown sugar, all right? And I'll add that in, and I'll give it another stir. Now, when you put that in, it's gonna kind of clump up, so you wanna make sure you break it apart, all right? You just keep stirring it like that. You may wanna like turn your bowl like that just to make sure you're getting everything, until you can't see any more clumps, all right? Just kind of run through it again. Get the sides. Just like that. All right, so it should look something like this, if you can see that. No clumps. The brown sugar is incorporated. The salt is incorporated. Just like that. All right, so I'll set this aside and I'll grab a smaller bowl, all right? This bowl is gonna be for my wet ingredients. So for my wet ingredients, I'm gonna start with my milk, and I have about a cup and a half of milk. I'm just gonna pour that in. Just like that. All right. Then I'm gonna go ahead and add my vanilla extract. pure vanilla extract, and you're gonna add about that much, probably about 2 teaspoons. All right. Then I'm gonna add 2 large eggs. All right. You're just gonna crack those in. Just like this. All right. I'll throw these in the garbage. Then I'll wash my hands really quick. After dealing with eggs, you always want to make sure you wash your hands, okay? Hi, Julia. All right, so now I'm going to give this a whisk. This is just my milk, my vanilla extract, and my eggs. So I'm just going to give that a whisk. You want to make sure the eggs are all broken up. So once you're done with that, it should look something like this. All right. There we go. All right, now I'm gonna do one last thing. Yeah, I'll go right here. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pour my wet ingredients into my dry ingredients while I have some butter melted. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that in, and as you pour, you want to make sure that you're pouring and stirring at the same time. Pour and stir at the same time. Now, when you're doing this, it may look a little clunky, and that's okay. That is okay. You just want to keep working that. All right. And once you have everything pretty much incorporated in, that's when you want to go ahead and add in your melted butter. About 5 tablespoons of butter, okay? So go ahead and add that in. Just like that. And once you add it in, you want to fold it in. And it smells amazing. When you put the butter in, it kind of smooths everything back out, so that's perfect. And what I like to do here is I like to add a few blueberries inside while I'm doing this part. All right, about a handful. And when you start stirring those, some of them will break open, which will give your pancake batter an even better taste. Make sure you get your sides, and here's what it should look like. All right, all done, all set. It's smooth, it's creamy, and it's ready to go. All right, so I'll put this aside. Now I'll get my pan. Now you could do this on a griddle, or you can do it on a pan. I'm just gonna do it on a pan since I have it right here available. You're gonna put it on a medium heat. You don't wanna do it too high, but you don't wanna do it too low either. And while you're getting your pan set, this is just gonna keep growing, just keep getting that flavor infused. And it's just kind of get a little bit more stiff, which is okay, all right? Also, what you wanna do now is go ahead and get your measuring cup. Get a 1/4 of a cup measuring cup so that you can have pancakes that are about the same size, all right? So I'll use a 1/4 cup measuring cup to dip in and get my pancake batter to pour in my pan, all right? While my pan is getting hot, I'll go ahead and get some butter and just put in the bottom of my pan, okay? And you want to do that to just kind of get it going. Now you can use something else. You don't have to use butter. You can use some type of coconut oil or anything like that. Any fat that you would like to use just to coat your pan so that the pancakes don't stick. All right. I'm gonna spread that butter around like that. And hopefully you guys can see that. Looks like my pan is getting pretty good with heat. Again, like I said, you don't want it to get too hot, okay? Just hot enough to do the pancakes. And I think it's at a pretty good heat now. So while it's finishing heating up, I'm just gonna get rid of a few things. Let's keep my area clean and safe. And I believe my pan is ready. I'll just kind of move it around like that to make sure the heated butter is kind of everywhere. All right, now we'll get started on making our pancakes. So, hello, Kara, how are you? So what I'm gonna do is, you see my batter in my 4th cup. I'm just gonna go in, kind of pat it against the side, and I'll go ahead and just pour that in the pan. And I'll do that again. Pat it against the side. And I'll spread it out and pour that in the pan. Perfect. All right. Now, what I want to do is add some blueberries to the top of these. You can add as many as you like. I'm going to add about 4 to 5. All right. And what the secret to pancakes is just letting the bubbles come through. Once the bubbles come through, that's when you know it's time to flip it over, all right? Until then, you just kind of set it and forget it, all right? Hello, Mercedes, how are you? So we're just gonna let these go. And I already see some of the bubbles coming through the pancakes. So once the bubbles have kind of come all the way through, then you're gonna just flip them, all right? And I like using the 4th cup because it makes the pancakes manageable, especially with the spatula this size, all right? It smells so good right now. Now make sure my heat is not too high. You don't want things to burn. And it looks like we're almost ready to give them a flip. Almost. Almost. Okay. I'll go ahead and give this one a flip. Like that. Like that. They smell amazing. And once you flip them, it's really easy from there because they're almost done. And that brown sugar really helps it to get that crisp edge. All right, these are done. I'll go ahead and take these out. Look at that. Perfect. All right, I'll do a couple more. I'll add some more butter here. I'll lift it off of my heat for just a second. Just to kind of make sure that we're not getting too hot. And sometimes you want to kind of turn it down a little bit just to make sure they're not getting too hot, okay? All right. Let's go ahead and add some more. These look really good. Now, if you were on a griddle, you said you always flip too early. It's really easy to flip early. You just gotta wait it out. Wait it out. It's really easy to flip too early. Once you see those, like I said, once you see those little holes come through the bottom, that's when you know it's about time to flip. All right, so this is going. And while these are going, I'll tell you about a syrup that I really like to use. It's this stuff. It's Alaga, and it's a cane flavored syrup. So I really like to use this syrup. But like I said, you can use any syrup you like. All right, these look good. And they are bubbling. I think one of the trickiest parts of pancakes is just perfecting the temperature in the pan or on your griddle. Sometimes those temperatures can fluctuate a lot, so sometimes it can be difficult to kind of get that temperature right. But once you get it, it's perfect. All right, this one is about ready to flip. I'm gonna go ahead and get under it and flip. There we go. And I love when the pancakes have that crispy edge. All right. And this one is about ready to flip. There we go. So we'll flip it once more. Just like that. We're almost done, guys. All right. So I'll take this and this. We'll get rid of our pan. We will add a little bit of butter on top. Just like that. Maybe throw on a couple more blueberries, just for fun. Put on our syrup. And we are all done. And would you look at that? It's perfect. Perfect blueberry pancakes. Look at that. Well, guys, that's all I have for you today. So be sure to tune in next Friday. Chef Ashley will be back with us next Friday, and she'll be working on something totally different. So we thank you guys so much for tuning in with us today, and make sure that you share this post as usual. We'll see you next Friday at 12:30. Thank you guys so much. Bon appetit, and I hope you enjoy these pancakes as I'm about to enjoy them. Bye.